Hi, welcome back to the Fantasy Golf Gods podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Rusty Miller, and that's Matt Jacobs.
Hey guys.
Welcome back. We're to our last show of the 2017 calendar year. For the PGA calendar, that is.
Yes.
We'll be back for the fall and the wraparound. But this is it. It's what we all boil down to. 30 of the best golfers in the world.
This year.
Right.
So yeah, we're at East Lake, Atlanta. We've played here many, many times. We've talked about that. So we'll do a quick recap of the BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll jump into this week and see what we got and kind of discuss some stuff a little differently than we did in previous weeks.
And it's going to be difficult or challenging to do DraftKings and talk about DraftKings when you're picking 6 guys and there's only 30 in the field.
Yeah. It's going to be a little difficult.
Good luck getting a unique lineup.
Everybody's going to be taking a trip to Chalk City this week, I think.
Yeah. All right, well, the BMW is a great event if you love scoring.
Yeah, we talked a little bit. I thought it was very uneventful. It was nice to see those scores. It was fun to watch, but Leishman led wire to wire.
And he ran away.
Oh, yeah. He stumbled a couple times, but nobody was even close to him. I thought he had the tournament in control the entire time. Never faltered. I was very impressed with his performance.
It was unbelievable how well he played golf for 4 days.
Yeah, you don't usually see many rounds go together that well. The only thing I liked really watching and what drew my interest were the people like Phil Mickelson, who unfortunately didn't make it to East Lake, had to make that eagle on 18 to get a chance to go. Watching those guys.
Yeah, and Finau chipped in on 18 to get in, which is cool to see.
See, that to me had more drama and excitement than the rest of the tournament did.
Sure. And, but it's still fun to watch these guys.
It was neat to see them go that low. Those guys.
But it wasn't very dramatic. There wasn't nail-biting coming down the finish.
No.
There was 2 guys or 3 guys that had a shot on Sunday, and Leishman had to kind of blow up, and they had to go lower
early. He just walked away with it. One of the most exciting things to me was watching Sergio with his drop. I was really wanting him to try to ricochet. I was hoping for that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was a good tournament.
Speaking of ricochets, Koepka's on 18.
Koepka, wow. That was impressive.
The bank is open.
If I were there, I'd told him $100 says you can't do it again, because there's no way that's happening again.
It bounced into it and then came back.
Yeah,
right?
It hit the green, hit the grandstands, rough, rolled back, 3-foot tap in birdie.
I could have seen if it flew into the grandstands and came back, but
this is bounced,
and then hit, and then came back. It's unbelievable.
Pretty impressive.
And he never smiles, and he was laughing going up the fairway there. So
it did well for him. He played well there. He finished T12. As everybody knows, Leishman was the winner. Not really a surprise, but nice to see up there Justin Rose.
Mm-hmm.
T2.
Somebody called that.
Yep.
Said I wouldn't be surprised if he won it. He tried really hard.
5 strokes back, which is a lot, but he played really well.
Yeah. And
67, 68, 66, 65. That's good.
That's good golf. Let's talk about some guys not making the trip to the Tour. Tour Championship.
Yep.
So, Phil, we just already covered. Rory's not making the trip.
First time ever a champion has not came back
the following year
to defend his title.
Well,
interesting.
He just hasn't played well all year.
I can't say I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, he came in like 50-something in the thing, so he had to go low.
I think I heard someone say he had to finish in the top 3 or top 4 or 5 to make it.
So
like we talked earlier, his McRib is bothering him.
I just hope that he goes home and he recovers and he comes back healthy.
Well, he just signed on for another event.
2 more. Yeah. I just heard today on another podcast that he's going to play 2 more events.
And then call it quits. But
yeah,
he'll be back. These guys have all the money in the world to get the best trainers and the best advice from people, so he'll be there. I think he's just trying to push it to the end, and unfortunately it didn't work for him. I think he's a great player, and I hope he comes back strong and takes this seriously, because if not, I would hate It sucked when Tiger went away with injuries. I really like Rory watching him play. If he goes away because of injuries, I mean,
Yeah, because I like him too, but I mean, I feel like when Tiger was there, it was Tiger and Phil, and maybe one or two other guys. But now we got 10, 12 guys deep that I enjoy watching at least
Yes.
every weekend.
Yep.
And I mean, the casual golf fan isn't going to come to it as much as when Tiger was there, but they're not going to come to see Rory any more than they would these guys.
No.
So,
yeah, other finishes that I was impressed with. Jason Day finally had a good tournament.
people been talking about him trending for a month now.
I've been on that train.
He finally trended.
Yeah, I mean, 64, 65, 70, 69, so great rounds. Kuchar, T5, very good. Rahm finishing in the top 5 again.
Yep.
Kind of surprising. Finau.
Yeah. Put a nice round together.
Didn't see that coming.
Some low rounds on Sunday. Guys out of it like Kevin Na, Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
Went
6,
low.
7 unders, 8 unders.
Yeah. And then Finau and Koepka also went low.
Yep. Tried a 63.
Jordan went low, minus 7.
64, I think he was.
Yeah.
65. Finau was a 64.
Yeah, so good some low rounds, and
Yeah.
it could have been a shootout, but Leishman put it away on
Yeah, Leishman.
Thursday, Friday with 8 under each day. So
Yeah.
he was 16 under through 36 holes. Crazy.
Yeah, 62, 64, 68, 67.
Yeah,
I can
Crazy.
only imagine.
one of these days, right?
Maybe. Maybe on the front nine. All right, so we'll jump into
Yep.
East Lake.
Tour Championship at East Lake down in just outside Atlanta. Been at this course seems like forever.
Several years.
Full time since 04 and then 3 times before that. So plenty of course history. Winning scores here in the past: minus 12, minus 9, minus 11, minus 13, 10, 8, 8, things like that. So doesn't look like we're going to get a minus 20 like last week.
No.
Which I think makes it more enjoyable on Sunday to
If it
watch.
keeps the scores really close, that'll make it
If you
nice.
can bunch it together, have a few guys in contention
Yeah.
on Sunday, it'll be a lot of fun.
I would like to see a playoff. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you're just at that time begging for extra golf is all. So,
Yeah, with these guys for sure, because we're
Yeah.
not going to see. I mean, we'll see these guys at the President's Cup, but
and then it's see you
Some
for a
of them.
while.
no.
Yeah, it'd be interesting with that, and then with the whole dynamic of the FedEx Cup
Yeah.
on the line as well.
Yeah, 10 million.
With
That's-
it's a
that's
big chunk
big.
of change.
That's big. That's going to change some lives.
Yeah, most of these guys, 10 million's not gonna change their.
No, but I would like to see one of these guys come up and do who was it? Bill Haas that won it a few years ago. That
Billy Horschel.
Bill
Haas.
Bill Haas had like some 17 scenarios that had to happen
Oh really?
in order to win, and it happened, and he won $10 million.
No.
That's Bill Haas's
Yeah.
best ever, and I like Bill Haas, but
I do
probably
too.
gonna be his best ever. And that was neat to watch and neat to see. I remember that. So I wouldn't mind seeing one of these lower guys come up and win the FedEx Cup and take it out of Jordan's hands or JT's hands.
Top 5 going in the FedEx Cup points. If they win the tournament, they win
All
the
they
cup,
gotta do is win.
and that's Spieth, JT, DJ, Leishman, and Rahm. So there is some changing of the top 5 there.
Yeah.
About top 3 are the same, but Leishman and Rahm are there. Ricky and Hideki kind of fell out. Ricky,
Ricky played
T,
well,
T2 is all he
but
can do.
Hideki has been.
But Rahm,
Yeah,
he needed Rahm to finish lower than T5 before, so he could.
he had to make a birdie. If he birdied 18, he would
What
have
was
finished ahead of Rahm or something like that. He missed it obviously because he's 6th, but DraftKings doesn't pay points on FedEx Cup.
Nope.
So
let's talk about.
let's talk FedEx
Draft-
DraftKings.
All
We'll
right.
talk about FedEx Cup.
So-
One thing I wanted to mention
Yeah.
real quick: this course is probably going to be wet.
Okay.
We just had Hurricane Irma go through Atlanta, and I've talked to some people down there in that area that I know, and it wasn't as bad as what they got in Florida, obviously, but they got a ton of rain. I know a friend of mine down in about an hour and a half south of Atlanta, he had 2 feet of water in his basement. So
Yeah, and
it's
the
going
reports
to be
is
very
that they knew the Tour Championship obviously was coming and took extra precautions. The course itself didn't have any damage, just really wet. Only lost one window in one
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what you're
buildings, and then lost a tree off like the parking lot area. So nothing,
nothing major.
Nothing major.
Good.
So
That's good.
the report I heard from the guy down there said that you wouldn't even known it.
Wouldn't know. That's
Yeah, that anything happened. So that's nice to know.
And the good news is, looking at the weather for the week, the biggest chance of storms we have is Friday, 40%. Weather's going to be great, mid to low 80s. Not much wind to speak of. So it should be a great weekend.
Cool. I'm really happy with the salaries on DraftKings today.
Yeah, they made it very interesting.
They softened it up a little bit. I thought we were talking last week about how hard it was to get any top guys and low guys in a lineup. I mean, or any mid guys in, because you had to go top and bottom. And this was 6,900 was the lowest last week.
69 was last week.
And then we got
62.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 golfers under that price this week, and half the field did last week. So
yeah,
it makes it really interesting. So I don't know if
you got a third of the field.
DraftKings is listening to our podcast, hearing us
I feel like they
griping about it, and they decided to open it up and make it a little bit more. No, I think a lot of people had that same view that it was.
I mean, who knows? I feel like this is going to be even harder as far as putting together a good lineup that everybody doesn't have, because you can fit 3 or 4 of those big guys up top and take a couple no-namers, or I mean, they're not no-namers at this point, but a couple cheaper guys. So I think we're gonna run into a lot of the same lineups and issues with that, but I think this is going to be harder because the price structure is so spread out. So you're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be able to pinpoint guys, say, okay, well, I want to take this guy because he's low owned, because there's only 30 guys. So, and if you're playing in some of these events with 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000 people, they're going to take the same guy. I would be surprised to see an ownership lower than 20%.
Let's just say the top half's not going to have any lower than that.
No.
So then the bottom, you might find 1 or 2 little hidden gems in there, but it's going to be tough, and it's going to be interesting, and I find this the more fun challenge.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's more fun to try to not only find a lineup that's going to score well, but I like to try to find a lineup that's different than everybody else that scores well.
Yeah, sometimes I get stuck though, because I'll look at some of these lineups that I'm looking at, and I can put Leishman, Casey, Rahm, Rose all in one.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, that's awesome.
You can watch that chalk down.
But yeah, it's going to be so chalky, I'm going to have to get some milk to wash it down. There's just no way that...
Or a nice cold.
Or a nice cold Miller Lite. But I look at these lineups and I feel like there's so much potential up top, but then I look down at the bottom and I start scrolling, and I'm like, oh, that's the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm already there. There's nobody else. And I think the winner, last week, we had talked that Jordan Spieth, he was going to play well, and nobody thought you would be able to take Jordan Spieth and anybody and win any of these events or these contests. I think it's going to be similar again. But I think we'll get more into that later.
Yeah, because I think,
like some ideas here. Because
it's a little different with Jordan last week, because really going into Sunday, Jordan was 30th place, 25th place.
Wasn't.
So it wasn't like he was winning the tournament, and then we got to see the lineups with Jordan in it to see how they placed. Now, I mean, he did come up, and what did he end up finishing?
Tied with Finau, I thought.
So 5th?
T7.
T7?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Finau finished. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that is top 10 at the end of the day, right? So
it's a top 10.
But that's not good enough when you have to have
$12,000 or whatever it was last week.
Well, and nobody low.
And no one else. You can't pick anybody up at 6,100, 6,200 to match him up with.
Yeah.
So we'll talk. Let's talk about the top. What do we got up here? 5 guys, 4 guys.
4 guys above 10,000. So Jordan is the most expensive again.
Mm-hmm.
DJ right behind him. Ricky after his he's been on a yo-yo this FedEx Cup with his points being really high, lower, really high, lower. So he's back up to 3rd. Jason Day after his big tournament.
Yeah, he's back up there.
And went up to 10,000.
Thomas, I mean that's.
Well, so if you want to keep going, then you have Thomas, Rahm, and Hideki all in the 9,000s. So, I mean, your top 7 golfers there from 9,000 from Hideki all the way up to 11.6 with Jordan. So, if you want to take Jordan, you can, and you can still fit another guy in. But if you take Hideki, you could probably fit in 4 guys.
Yeah, that's
so. Hideki's on my do not play list.
He is, and we talked about that earlier. And I'll put this out there now. He's not. I don't think he's going to win. But I'm predicting a top 5 from Hideki.
Okay. Is a top 5 roster bull?
Yes, because he's $9,000, and you can take Rahm, Leishman, and a couple other guys.
Let's talk about Leishman real quick before we go back up there. So $8,400.
Much cheaper than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I thought he scared the 9,000s. So
yeah, I thought he'd be pushing.
So played really well the whole playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he missed a cut.
Yeah, he missed it at what was it, Dell?
Northern Trust.
Northern.
And then he played really 3rd at the Dell, and then won. So is he going to be the most owned guy? Do you have to have a Leishman?
Man, at $8,400 for those kind of potential points, yes, he's going to be probably the most owned guy. Do you have to have him?
If he wins.
If he wins, yes. Yeah. If he puts up 125 points, you got to have him. I don't see many lineups without him.
So he's kind of like, to me, the Casey has been for the last,
Yeah, but he's
$1,000
cheaper than Casey's ever been.
Well, but Casey this week is
but
basically
you
the
remember
same
the last
price.
3 weeks, Casey's been anywhere between 92 and 99, I think.
No, 89 and 92.
So at 84, he's almost $1,000 cheaper, but putting up more points than Casey was. I mean, Leishman put up 120
and
points.
He can close.
And he can close. I mean, he's well. He did yesterday. So.
All right, so let's go back to the top. Jordan and DJ. I don't hear any DJ love. This course has to be a bomber's paradise.
Yeah, a short course, so I don't think he's going to be very highly owned, which may make me intrigued by.
I like that because if it is short, so if it's a driver wedge course for him,
as much as he's been working on wedges, he might be a good play.
I like that, and especially, I mean, we're talking contrarian plays and game theory.
Yeah.
So if you can find one of these top guys that are the least owned, then I think you have to play him, right?
Yeah, that's the only. My only hope is with Spieth is that
what
he's
happens
expensive.
if he goes out and does what he did at the BMW and doesn't
I mean,
play well.
It would be hard to swallow a 7th place finish out of your most expensive golfer.
Yeah, but DJ at BMW wasn't even that.
Oh, you're talking about DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ. I mean, that's a risk to take.
Well, yeah.
That's the hard part of this game. But
so if you're rank the top 7 guys to you,
as far as what I would play in DraftKings,
or you like the odds for this week, because DraftKings probably changes a little bit with who you're going to go at the bottom.
So as far as this week goes, I would go Fowler number 1, Spieth number 2, Rahm number 3, Day 4, Thomas 5, Johnson 6, Masayama 7.
Okay, so I'm pretty close with you. I'm going to Spieth 1, Rahm 2. JT,
No.
JT3, then Fowler, then Day.
I just want to point this out.
Johnson and Matsuyama.
Last week I had a little saying about Justin Thomas. Do you remember what it was?
No,
What goes up
must come down.
and where do you finish?
T40. 34, 43, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do any good.
That makes me want to pick him.
I think you should.
You think I should? I really do. I mean, the dude doesn't put bad rounds together that,
No, he doesn't do it
and
all.
he can
then-
get hotter than anybody. And you're going to tell me going into number 2, he wants to lose the
Sorry.
$10 million to Jordan Spieth, his best friend?
T47.
Okay.
Just to get that clear. Rounds of 67, 70, 71, 71. So, yes, is that the traditional Justin Thomas we're used to right now? No. But I still think that these guys play at such a level, they can't maintain that.
So Ken
For so long.
Leishman.
For $8,400, I'm going to find out. You know, he's not.
JT's only 99.
Yeah, that's what is it? $1,500 more?
Yeah.
$1,400 more. So it's not worth it to me. I like Justin Thomas, and I think he's a phenomenal golfer, and he has the potential to go out and win this event. He has potential to win the FedEx Cup, wrap up Player of the Year, FedEx Cup, this event, all of it. But he's been playing at such a high level that he's not. I don't think he's used to. Jordan Spieth. How long has Jordan Spieth been playing like Jordan Spieth? A few years now.
A couple years, yeah.
So he's been there, he's done that, he has that mentality to keep going. Justin Thomas, similar to Rahm,
He's only played East Lake once and finished 6th here last year.
JT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say he's gonna finish 30th, but I won't put money on him winning. So that's something I feel strongly about this week, is that Justin Thomas may sneak his way into a few of my lineups, but only because he's $9,900 and does have the potential to win it at that price.
Okay. So let's go down. We'll kind of recap who's in our cores and things a little bit later,
Sure.
but let's go 89 to 7,000 then. So kind of a big group here.
So the other half of the field almost.
Okay, we can keep it smaller if you want, but at 89 is Rose. Casey's at 86. Leishman's at 84. Koepka at 81. So let's just go those 4 then.
I think if you go down one more spot
Okay.
to Garcia,
Yeah.
you could have a lineup right there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would probably fit too.
Yeah. I bet they'd be darn close. Justin Rose, T2. Leishman, 1. Koepka, what did he do last week?
He came up. He wasn't doing anything until Sunday, and he went low.
Koepka with a 12th. Who do you got next?
You missed Paul Casey.
Paul
So-
Casey is. I wasn't very happy with Casey's performance last week, but 33rd. 69, 67, 71, 69. If he shoots that same score here again, he's probably going to win.
And then you have Garcia.
And then Garcia, the only thing he did for me was
Not break a putter.
No, I didn't break a putter, and he had that ball in the creek on 18 that I liked.
So, if I were going to go that, which is a really cool way to look at that, and I would probably substitute Cantlay, who's at 78, for Garcia at 79.
I think it's probably a safer play.
I do. He's only played in 12 or 13 events this year, but hasn't missed a cut. It's super impressive when he's played in 12 or 13 events, made it all the way to the Tour Championship. When these other guys are playing in 22 events, and he's beating them out of points. That
the
just say
next
how
lowest person has played 4 more events than he has to get there.
wow.
And that's Sergio.
I was just saying it's probably somebody that won a major.
Yeah, Sergio. So.
So yeah, it's impressive what Cantlay's done. So a kid out of Long Beach, California,
LBC.
turned pro in 13.
Yeah, 2013.
Had a back injury that derailed a couple years, and then come back this year, and he's just been on fire. And
You make a good case for him.
well, I mean, finally he got some airtime on TV Saturday and Sunday. They were talking about him, telling his story. Says that people around the range say that he can has the tools and game to be the next Jason Day, Jordan
Sure.
Spieth, come out here and win that much. So he held up under pressure on the weekend in the final group or final two groups of both days.
Mm-hmm.
So that was impressive to see. He's become a DraftKings darling to guys, so he'll be very owned. But I don't know that that's going to matter.
Yeah, that's going to be your tough spot. Is he's going to be super owned, and it might not make it worth it.
Yeah. So to recap, I loved Justin Rose last week, and I got good value out of him. He was really pretty low owned.
Mm-hmm.
His T2 was what won me my money last week in my events.
Yeah, he kept me up there.
And then Casey was really chalk and didn't do anything, so that was kind of disappointing. But Leishman I had in a lot of lineups, and he did well as well. Koepka, we kind of talked about. Garcia, Cantlay. So then let's go down to 7,700 is Kuchar from the Atlanta area. Plays here. This is his home.
See, I like
town.
I'm going to have him.
You know, I liked him too. He hasn't got great tournament history here. 15, 10, 13, 26, 10. Which
Yeah,
doesn't
but you
sound
could-
bad, but when you're out of 30 and you're 26 and 15, it's not great finishes. So he's not lighting it up coming in, and he doesn't have great course history here. And
But it's about Kuchar.
And
And
DraftKings love him, so I may look elsewhere just because of those reasons.
And the biggest reason that I might not have him in several lineups is because everybody is going to take him.
Yeah.
I think this is a good course for him. It's not a long course, so he stands out here. He's going to be able to pick it apart. It's going to be a ball striking course, an iron players course, and that, to me, Kuchar fits that bill. So we'll see. I'll probably have him in a couple, but
Well,
there are
to
other
kind
people I
of
like.
pivot a little bit in the same area, I think Cantlay is going to be really owned, but a better play if you want to pay up $100. If you want to pay down $100, I think Chappell will be less owned, and he pops in my model.
Yeah, I
he
have
finished
him.
well last week. I like Chappell a lot better than I do Kuchar here, but you probably can't go wrong. And every time I pick against Kuchar, he top fives it.
Yeah.
So, book it.
Yeah, he's going T5 or better.
All right. So then, I like Chappell this week. You got a feel on him?
I like Chappie. I'll have him. I've got him down as one of my core guys.
Okay. So then, Webb Simpson, Patrick Reed, who blew up my lineups last week. I had him.
I called him for the win.
He was in the most player I used last week, and he finished the worst out of anybody. So, yeah, that hurts.
I don't even know what to say about Patrick
However,
Reed.
For the reasons I loved him last week, I love him more this week. It's $500 cheaper,
And nobody's going to take him.
and nobody's going to take him
They're
because
going to
they just
remember
burned
what
him.
Yeah. That's the only reason I'll have him is because he should probably be one of the lower owned players
Yeah,
of the entire roster.
because of what he did last
Just
week.
because I'm willing to bet he burnt a lot of people.
Yeah,
I know he burnt me. He burnt you. He burnt several other people I know. I mean, I don't know what happened, but that was a horrible performance.
he just didn't put anything together.
No, where did he finish? I don't even think he made the
59th?
cut.
There wasn't a cut.
That's my point. He didn't make the cut.
Well, he wasn't Danny Lee and quit. So,
65th.
yeah, out of 69.
While we're down here looking at the scoreboard,
You want to talk about it?
let's talk about it.
Our boy Wesley Bryan?
Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
It-
Was that not, that to me, watching that highlight,
Yeah.
made the golf tournament.
Yeah, so for the guys that don't know, Wesley Bryant was the first off on Sunday, and he played by himself because there was an odd number because Danny Lee pulled out earlier in the week. So he decided to see how fast he could play the 18 holes, and he played all 18 holes walking at in an hour and 29 minutes.
which is amazing.
Didn't mark a ball all day.
He run after his divot, run at his.
He
caddy
would
was
hit a
throwing
shot.
clubs.
He would run after the divot, throw the club, grab the putter, run up there, and hit the putt. And as it was going, he was walking to it.
I think he addressed the ball 3 or 4 times before it stopped.
Yeah, so
That was fun to see.
it was fun. In an hour and 29 minutes, every golfer out there should play that quick. And he shot a 69.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
don't have to play slow to play well.
No, but I will highlight this. He goes tee box, fairway,
Oh, yeah.
green.
It's harder.
Most of us go tee box, woods,
Bunker.
bunker, chip up, blade it across the green,
3-putt bogey.
3-putt bogey for 25 minutes a hole.
Yeah, so I guess that's, but it still drives me nuts. So
Okay,
we'll
so
talk
we'll
about
get back on that.
Yeah,
But that was really cool to see. That was fun.
it was fun, and unfortunately he won't make the tour championship this year. But big fan, and I think that he'll do big
I
things
think
in
the
the future,
USGA and the slow play people ought to pay him to do a commercial because
so. Yeah.
that was pretty good.
All right. So where were we at? We were talking about the Patrick Reed Bergman.
Yeah.
So then we got Hoffman and Finau right at above 7,000. So Hoffman's kind of cooled off and been middle of the pack, and
Except you see he went eagle and then almost a double eagle. Did
Yeah.
you see that? That was impressive.
so
it was
he's
hands-on.
continuing to put up some points, even though he's not placing high. So
No,
and Finau,
that's my boy, and I'm gonna have him.
are you?
Yeah, 7,100 with a high finish, a T7. Yeah,
Putted well,
yeah.
which was okay. So then 69. Danny Berger.
We're not getting bags of burgers.
No, you
No,
don't want any ketchup on your
no,
burger.
no. I don't know. I've built several models, and he pops in all of them. I don't know why. I mean, he made it to the tour championship.
He played really well earlier in the year, and that if you don't change a lot of your recencies to shorter, that's why he pops in a ton of lineups. He really hasn't been playing well lately.
No.
So
I'm not gonna have him. I'm looking at what he finished here: 33rd, 61st, 33rd cut, 17, 27. I mean, that's where he got most of his Travelers. Or so he won FedEx at St. Jude, cut at the Open, Travelers second, John Deere 5th, and then he kind of has just fallen off the earth.
yeah, since the Open, he doesn't have a top 10.
Yeah, so last week with his 33rd, he had 75.5 fantasy points. Prior to that, 47, 49, 20. Got to go back to the World Golf Championship to get 70. And then 105 at the John Deere.
And because he
Not
pops
worth
in these models and things, people keep picking him. He's
That-
really owned. I don't get it.
It's either his name, because everybody loves saying his name, or it's because they'll run these models and
Or it could be the commercial that they show every commercial break with him and his distant cousin or twice removed.
somebody.
Yeah, whatever.
But I think they run these models, and they're not taking everything into account, and they see his name up there and they take him.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how you put him in there and expect to do well on a regular basis. So no, I will not have any Berger.
Okay. Xander at 6,800.
Interesting play. I like it.
I like it. He plays
Super
well.
owned.
He's a darling down here in this range for people on DraftKings. If you've been listening to us all year, we've been on Xander all year,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's time to get off of him when everybody else gets on him.
Yeah.
So find somebody else that's going to be there. And that's where you're going, right? The next guy, Kevin Kisner.
Yeah, I've got him in my my low guys. Nothing more than a feel here. Obviously, we know he can play. He's got 6
Went to
top
Georgia to school,
tens.
so he's a bulldog.
He's a native, semi.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do well here. Might pair him up
Well,
with Hideki and have a 100%. I feel like these guys are going to do good lineup and hope.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, course fits him if you want to look that way because it's not a bomber's paradise. He hits his irons really well, and that's what you're gonna have to do to score. I just don't know if he can score low enough. That's like last week. I mean, there's no way he's gonna get to 22 under, right? So, if you told him before the tournament started, 22 under was gonna win it, I don't know that.
He's gonna say, "Okay, I can do that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then at 66, Russell Henley. Then Jason Duffner, who didn't play really well last week. I won't have him.
No.
So in the lower, below 7,000s, I will have two guys, and then I'm going to pin all my hopes and dreams this week, my entire bankroll on two guys down here, Gary Woodland and Pat Perez. I'm going to jump on that Pat Perez bandwagon.
Pretty early to jump, isn't it?
Not if you look at some numbers, buddy. So, never very owned. People just don't like him or don't play him, and
I don't think they know who he is.
well, and I'm good. I hope they don't.
I literally think that's what it is. If you look at every player in this field and they say, which guys don't you know?
Yeah.
It's Pat Perez.
Well, my computer won't pull it up, but his last 4 or 5 events, he's been really good. So, and
Yeah, T12, T6, T34, T28.
yeah, in the playoffs. So, I like Pat Perez. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon and hope nobody else does. Gary Woodland I like a lot. If I had to get another one, if I go really super stars and scrubs, I'm gonna lean on Kyle Stanley this week. I'm gonna stay away from Harmon, Vegas, Hadwin, all those guys down there. So
Yeah, the only guy I see
Yeah.
down there is Hadwin. I like the way he pops in the models I run. He's not going to win the tournament. If I pick Hadwin, I want him top 15. If he beats 50% of the field, I'll be happy because he's so cheap, $6,200.
yeah, and he is the cheapest guy in the field. Him and Johnny Vegas. So
Which, Vegas is an interesting buy for me because he's the only person down here I think who could win.
yeah. Yeah.
Stanley maybe, Harmon there.
He's played here before where Perez, Harmon, Stanley, Hadwin all haven't played here, and Xander. So at least he's been around here in competition. But he could also go
He could do his
30th.
typical Jonathan Vegas and gonna be zero or hero. And
In
I mean,
this
if you're
field,
doing multiple
it's
lineups,
not Canada Open, the Canadian Open.
this is not. So I could see doing 2 identical lineups, taking Vegas in one for the potential that he does do his super trick and wins, and then swapping him out with somebody like a
Hadwin.
Stanley, Perez, Hadwin, somewhere in that general region.
Yeah.
I can see that.
All right. Well, I think we covered. Well, that is all 30 guys in the field.
Yes.
We officially named every single person in the field this week. So
I feel like we did.
I
And if
read
we
them all
didn't,
off. I did.
We apologize.
So
You didn't say Russell Henley.
I did just briefly.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
I covered everyone. So
We'll have to check tape, but
all right. So give me. I mean, I think we kind of went there, but under 7,000, I'm gonna go with Pat Perez and Gary Woodland.
I've got Kisner Woodland on a whim, Xander and Stanley.
So say I like Xander and I like Stanley, but I hope not to have to use Stanley, and I don't want to use Xander because he's gonna be owned.
That's it.
So then from 7 to 8,000, the Cantley, Cooch, Reed, Finau, Chapel area. Kind of depends on how you're gonna go lineups, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. You're gonna have to have at least one of these guys, I think, unless you try to take 4 of the top guys, top 10 guys, and sneak them all in there. But man, Finau coming off that finish, that top 10 finish, I feel like he's gonna be rolling into this one saying, you know what, I competed with these guys last week. I can compete with them again. And we've seen the course. It's a little bit tighter, but it's not by any means. You don't have water running up both sides of the fairway in a 10-yard fairway.
Right.
So Finau's going to be okay off the tee.
These fairways are pretty wide
So,
in general.
7 top 10s, 20 to 23 cuts. Obviously, there's no cut this week, but 20 to 23 cuts.
So
Coming off a top 10, I'm going to, out of that group, that 7, whatever you said, 7,000 to 79, my value buy is Finau.
So let's play a little game of Would You Rather. And
Please, let's do it.
Chappell or Finau?
Finau.
Reed or Finau?
Finau. Are we talking based on points or ownership? Because Reed's going to put you in the dumpster.
You don't think Reed's going to do anything this week?
I'm going to pick him on a couple lineups because of his ownership and hope. But, I mean, other than looking at Reed, what has he done? Position 65th, T6, T20, T2, 36, 19th, cut, 20th, 17th. Yeah, those are good finishes, but those are fields of 125 players.
Yeah, but
Not fair. So, he has the ability, and I love Patrick Reed. He's one of my favorite golfers to watch.
Oh, and you better believe I'm riding with Captain America the next week with the President's Cup.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. When he goes to the President's Cup,
Yeah.
he'll probably shoot like a 42 under.
Yeah.
Okay? Because it's, I've watched a lot of interviews with him. His main thing is team golf and match play. That's what drives him.
You don't think the idea of that next week, after a crappy week this week?
No, what did I say about Phil? I said he might do something, but his focus is on the President's Cup. He played well.
He played well.
But he's not here this week.
No. All right, well, he's getting ready for the President's Cup.
Yeah, Phil's practicing right now.
All right, so then the next group, the 8,000 to 10,000 group, pretty much the whole rest of the field.
Koepka, Leishman, Casey, Rose, Hideki, Rahm.
So let's keep it going. Everybody likes Leishman this week. Do you like him more than Rose?
Yeah, because similar to what I said about Justin Thomas, Leishman is peaking. Can he ride out that peak one more time? I don't know. What they say a week or so ago about the FedEx Cup, every winner has won multiple events or something. So
yeah. So and you kind of look at Leishman's tournament versus Billy Horschel's when he won it a couple years ago. At the Dell, Billy finished second. Leishman finished third. At the BMW, they both won it. And then at the Tour Championship, Billy won it, and Leishman, we don't know yet. So he could go in the exact same kind of arc that Billy went with the years he won it. So,
I mean, he obviously has some of the best recent form coming in.
Yeah.
The problem I have with him in the what if or who would you rather is I think he's going to be much higher owned.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put in a Rose versus a Leishman, I think Rose is going to do good. And he might not get you quite as many points if he doesn't do as good as last week. But the points he's going to get you are because he's not owned. And that's going to shoot you up that leaderboard versus having the same guy everybody else has.
So, I'm reloading my screen. Casey or Koepka?
I'm going to go Koepka.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. But again, it goes to ownership. We got 30 guys.
That's true.
So
ownership's going to be a big difference there.
And you can't tell me that from Jordan Spieth to probably Finau, any one of those guys can win this tournament.
Right.
Not easily, but have decent odds. So
you're just going to look at the Casey Koepka. Casey's going to be at least twice as owned.
Oh yeah.
Does he have twice as amount of shot at winning than Koepka? No way.
No.
So that's where, even though it's probably a smarter play to bet on Casey, but if you're playing DraftKings, Koepka's going to be the way to go there, I believe.
Yeah, and that's why, I have him written down to take Koepka because of ownership. If you said purely all I want is DraftKings points, then I think you take Casey. But because you can't have the same lineup as everybody else and expect to win, I think Koepka's the better play.
Okay, so let's go to the very top. Spieth or Fowler?
That's a tough one.
Because I think you picked Fowler to win. Or did you change it again?
No, I've got Fowler to win, Spieth to finish second.
And win the FedEx Cup.
And win the FedEx, yeah. Spieth or Fowler?
Both, please?
Yeah, can I have both?
You can.
I don't know. That's a tough one because I like earlier with Koepka, Spieth might be lower owned because of his higher price, and that would make me drawn to Spieth. However, Ricky, I think, is going to win. So my gut tells me take Ricky, but so does 35, 36% of the other people. Probably closer to 40, 45% with 30 people.
Okay. So you think Ricky's going to win it all? Or win the tournament?
Win the tournament.
Spieth will win the FedEx Cup?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go...
But Spieth has to finish T2
to win it?
To win it.
If Ricky wins.
If Ricky wins.
So I'm going clean sweep for Spieth.
He's taking both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
I can deal with that.
Yeah, so that's my pick.
So tell me, who's your... Because I know we got a couple of them. Give me two people that, regardless of circumstances, you are not taking.
Hideki, Sergio.
Okay.
You?
Not those two. Duff and Berger.
Come on, dude. Those are lower. Give me two top half of the...
I might have them all.
All right.
No, if I have to eliminate a top guy, it's Dustin Johnson.
Okay, that makes sense. Give me one more.
Of the top?
Yeah. 8,000 or higher.
This is going to be so stupid. Leishman.
I was going to say Casey. But, yeah, I won't have any Sergio or Brooks. But, I mean, Hideki.
Okay. I see where people will do that, and I understand why.
But
what is
on the flip side, I'll have Reed, where you're not going to touch him.
What is Hideki's known best aspect of his game?
His iron play.
His iron play. What is East Lake known for winners having? Iron play.
No.
Players of Hideki's caliber don't typically play
5
that horrible.
Second, 22nd.
This is
Hideki
his
here.
5 second, 20 seconds, so he finished 5th last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will build a lineup with him in it for sure.
All right. Well, anything else you got?
No, I think that's it. We pretty much covered every single player, talked about them. We got our corner.
Couple things. Look for us on DraftKings. We did change our logo to our Fantasy Golf Gods logo this week, our avatar. So if you see us out there, you can friend us. If you want us to send you the logo, you can email us at fantasygolf721 and we'll email it to you, and you guys can have it as your avatar as well. Make sure you like the video below, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's a lot of fun to get into fantasy golf, and it's a lot more fun when you're playing with your friends. So, anything else?
Good luck. It's been a fun season. I look forward to the President's Cup. What is it, next week, week after?
Next week. We'll be back in a couple weeks for the wraparound.
We'll take the President's Cup off and probably be back pretty quickly after that. And go from there.
Yeah, excited for a new season, but it's hard to look that far ahead when so much is riding on this week. So
see, I've got the film mentality, and all I care about is FedEx or the President's Cup.
Wow.
I love that kind of golf. So.
I love it too, but you can't get it past the Tour Championship and the
no,
FedEx.
you can't.
It's the end
and
of
there's
the
no
playoffs.
DraftKings on
Yeah, that's
on the
the
President's Cup. So there is that. So
All right, I think that is all, and then
Yeah,
we'll wrap
that's
it
it.
up. And it's been a fun season for
Yeah.
us, and we'll be back next year for our season 2. So we'll see you soon.
take care.